was a pretty special year, obviously, to break as many records as we did and to win the conference in a dominating fashion was rewarding and certainly fun, and we'd like to do that every year, but in reality it probably won't be that lopsided in years to come. But I think if you look at it on the whole, it's just another step in the evolution of our program. I'd say we met expectations. I don't know if we exceeded them or not. The margin of victory wasn't something that we thought about. We just wanted to put ourselves in a position to contend. We wanted to put ourselves in a position to win, and we knew that we had a lot of talent on the team. I don't know that everyone on the team swam as well as we would have liked, but once we got some momentum going, we were rolling. After you win one conference title, the focus becomes, let's see if we can win multiple conference titles, and now we've proven that. So the next step is, let's see if we can get a winning streak going. And we're also, want to turn our attention to some bigger picture swimming goals. In addition to winning the conference, we want to have more of a presence on the national scene, and we've been able to do that with some Olympic trials qualifiers, and that's an important step for our program. We want to continue to have a presence at the national level. Joe Iden is a converted distance swimmer who we turned into a sprinter and has just become Superman in the sprint events. Kyle Neary joins him. Kyle is just a big, strong, athletic guy that can hold a ton of water and has pretty good technique, and most importantly has a great work ethic and a great attitude. And then we have Evan Baker, who surprised everybody. We focus his training a little bit more on butterfly and not so much on the 50 free, and it turns out the 50 free was his best event at the conference meet last year. So those three guys will certainly make up 3/4 of our sprint relay, and there will be a little bit of a competition for the other spot. All told, I think we're going to have a lot of depth, more than we've ever had in the sprint events. Breaststroke is going to be an area of concern for us this year, not because we don't have good breaststrokers, we just don't have a lot of them. We're lacking depth in breaststroke, and that's pretty apparent. Josh Zimt is a returning conference champion in the 100 breast and also a very fine 200 breaststroker. And then we're going to look to Brooks Peterson to step into a role that he didn't really have to play last year because we had Jeremiah O'Donnell and Andrew Nice and those guys around. Those guys aren't here anymore, so we're going to look to Brooks to move from being a role player and a support player to being a frontline breaststroker. And then we may have to get creative, especially in the sprint breaststrokes. Somebody like Alex Montes de Oca, who you almost never see do breaststroke, may be called upon to do something a little out of his comfort zone. But we think he's ready for that challenge, and I know he'll be successful there. In the 200 breast, we're a little more comfortable with some of our depth because we have some people who can step in from other events like 400 IM or distance freestyle to swim 200 breast. So we have CONRAD ZAMPARELLO, we have Brett BARDEN, who's conference finalist in the 200 breaststroke, guys like that. But the 100 and the 50 will be a little bit of an adventure for us this year, but an exciting one. When you graduate Will Mannion and Justin Barden, that leaves a pretty big hole in the backstroke events, but we're not worried about it because we have Wyatt Grubb and we have Alex Henderson, we have Alex Montes de Oca, and those guys have all contributed in backstroke. Those guys have all been there. They haven't swum on a lot of A relays yet, but we were fully confident in their ability to step into the shoes that Justin and Will left with their graduation. So those guys will be great. Joey RENTO is another one that came on strong in the 200 back last year. There are some great backstrokers in the conference, so with Will and Justin leaving, it sort of opens up the conference to kind of anybody's game. Butterfly is exciting for us because we have pretty good depth across 100 and 200 butterfly. Evan Baker is the returning conference champion in the 100 fly. Can also step up and do a good 200 fly, can also sprint freestyle. So we're not sure exactly where his role will be with his third event, but he'll certainly be back to defend his title in the 100 fly. Tommy KEALY has been swimming almost every event imaginable for us, but the 100 fly and 200 fly certainly are his bread and butter, so we'll expect a lot from him. Alex Montes de Oca, a great 100 flyer going into his senior year. Joey RENTO, a great 200 flyer. Michael Gomez will be back to swim both 100 and 200 fly, though he prefers the 200. And we have a transfer coming in that we expect to be a big contributor in butterfly, Carter Kale, and a number of other support players. So butterfly should be a very strong event for us. In the distance events, CONRAD ZAMPARELLO returns this year as a defending conference champion in the mile. CONRAD is one of those guys that just loves to train hard and loves to do a lot of volume and do a lot of aerobic work, and that paid off last year by him winning the mile. A little bit unexpected, maybe not for him, but the coaches were surprised by how well he did in that event, and pleasantly surprised. His training partner in crime, Eric Grimes, will be right there by his side, not only in the mile, but also in the 400 IM, which is an event that they both swim. So I think you'll see those two guys stepping to the forefront. But Tommy KEALY continues to work hard in the distance lane, even though he's a 100 and 200 flyer, because his 500 free is an important event to him, an important event to our team. Alex Henderson will be right there in the mix in the 500 freestyle as well. Sean Higgins is a guy that's kind of an unsung hero on our team. He trains in the distance lane, he works really hard. He does all the hard stuff and doesn't get a lot of glory really until the end of the year, but his 400 IM was fantastic last year. And a number of freshmen coming in that will complement what we have. I think the 500 free could be one of our best events. I think the 400 IM could be one of our best events. And now, for the first time in several years, I think the mile could be one of our best events as well. This is probably one of the largest recruiting classes we've brought in. And I have to give a lot of credit, really all the credit, to Chris Carter, my associate head coach and recruiting coordinator, for putting this together. Without the help of a second assistant coach last year, we were still able to recruit what we consider to be one of the best classes in the history of our program. 10 guys coming in, 9 freshmen, 1 transfer from Virginia Tech. Some real good firepower in the sprint events from these guys. We looked for people that can swim a lot of different events. We sort of raised the bar a little bit and got a little more selective to the point where everyone coming in this group will be an immediate contributor at the conference level. I think all 10 of them could make our conference team next year. Conference is very interesting. You know, with only 5 teams, obviously depth is a critical factor if you want to be successful. And we've been the deepest team for several years now, and I think with 10 guys coming in, all of whom can contribute, I think we'll continue to be the deepest team in the conference, but I'm not sure we're the most talented team at the top. Drexel is moving up rapidly. You know, it wasn't long ago that they were at the bottom of the conference. Last year they finished second. Towson is moving up rapidly. So I expect those teams to give us a very, very strong fight. I do not think we're the prohibitive favorites to win the conference next year, given the amount of points that we lost to graduation. So we've got our work cut out for us, but I think we'll be in the mix, and I think we can win, but it's going to take a really strong effort from everybody.